Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. This evening, Azimio has announced that on Sunday 16th this month, they will be holding a political rally at Kamkunji grounds in Nairobi. And this is very interesting now that the talks between the government and the opposition are just starting. In this video, I want us to dig deep into this story for Kenyans to understand the high-octane politics being played behind the scenes. But before we do that, let's have a look at the press release by Azimio. Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party, press release, announcement of public engagements by Azimio la Umoja. On 1st April 2023, we called off street demonstrations against the Kenya Kwanza regime to give way for a structured dialogue on issues we feel are critical the well-being of the country, namely, number one, the high cost of unga fuel, electricity and school fees. Two, opening an audit of the IBC servers. Three, protection of the letter and spirit of fidelity to multi-party democracy. Four, adherence to the principle of inclusivity in appointment of civil servants. It is in this regard that we make the following pronouncements. Number one, we have today appointed Senior Counsel, Honorable Dr. Paul Otiende Amolo, to serve as the chairman of the 7-member team of negotiators agreed on last week. Two, as the negotiators take up their responsibilities, we will embark on a series of direct engagements with members of the public through town hall meetings and public barazas. Three, we will hold the first town hall meeting in Nairobi on Thursday, 13th April 2023, to be followed by a people's baraza at the Kamkunji grounds on Sunday, 16th April 2023. The purpose of the town hall meeting and public barazas is to enable the party explain to the people where we are and the upcoming course of action following the suspension of protests. 5. The letter and spirit of fidelity to multipartism must be entrenched in the ongoing negotiations. We continue to reiterate that we expect parliamentary parties and membership be respected and not undermined during the talks. 6. Azimio remains committed to the spirit of the Easter deal that saw the two parties to commit dialogue and call on Kenya Kwanza to come to the table with clean hands, unclenched fists, and a commitment to an honest and transparent process that engages on all the issues bedeviling our country, namely extremely high cost of living, electoral injustices that we have swept under the carpet for decades, safeguarding multi-partyism and safeguarding our civil service from politics. Honorable Wycliffe Oparanya, Chairman Azimio Executive Council, 11th April 2023. That's the full press release by Azimio. And from what I've picked from all this is that on 16th this month, that will be on Sunday, there will be a political rally at Kamkunji grounds in Nairobi. That's the elephant in the room. In this video, I want us to understand the political games being played here. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's continue. Why is Azimio calling for a political rally at a time the talks are just beginning? The first reason, Azimio is trying to pile pressure on the government to take the talks seriously. As the talks will be going on between the government and the opposition, Azimio will be engaging the public. In one way or the other, the government will see for itself they need to take the talk seriously. And during those political rallies and the town barazas, I'm seeing Azimio that will still be piling pressure on the government to be serious on the talks. And that is so because looking at some leaders in government, the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, Ndindi Rigathi Gachagua, they seem not serious about the talks. In fact, they are coming out as individuals who are belittling and actually sabotaging the talks. So as the talks continue, Azimio will be telling them that the power belongs to the people. Because initially, when before the demonstrations, Azimio had tried reaching out to the government for talks, but the government refused. After the demonstrations, or after the demonstrations proved it to the government that Azimio has the people on the ground. And even now that the talks will be going on, Azimio wants also to try and prove to the government that they have the people on the ground. So the government should take the talk seriously. The second thing coming out very clearly, I'm seeing Azimio that has realized that they really got a lot of political mileage through the demonstrations. And that has told them, or rather convinced them, that the more Azimio's presence is felt on the ground, thus giving Azimio the political mileage at the expense of the government. Azimio in this case is just trying to sustain on that goodwill. Yes, they just want to sustain on that goodwill because ultimately the power belongs to the people. And also something coming out very clearly from this, I'm seeing Azimio team that is cleverly trying to go back to the streets. But they want to start it in a different way. They want to start it with the town halls, then the normal political rallies, and then eventually if the talks fail, then they'll go direct to mass action and to the street protests because all those are enshrined in our constitution. Kenyans are allowed to demonstrate, to picket, to hold demonstrations and protests. The constitution allows that. So I'm seeing an Azimio that is already laying ground for a possible return to the streets in the event Kenya Kwanza plays ping pong games with them. And all this just confirms that William Ruto thinks are thickening for William Ruto and his team. Because for the first time since independence, we are seeing a government not able to pay its civil servants. And already the civil servants, they have issued a threat that they will boycott work, they will strike. And should the civil servants strike, with what we are currently witnessing, the government will most definitely collapse. So I'm seeing an Azimio that has already realized that this is a failing government. So Azimio is trying to cleverly distance itself from the government. And I'm saying that because during these rallies, for example, during this Kamkunji rally, Azimio will still be pushing the government to lower the cost of living and to honor on some of Azimio's demands. So I'm seeing an Azimio that has realized that Kenya Kwanza is a collapsing government. Azimio is just trying to identify with the millions of Kenyans suffering under the Kenya Kwanza government. Let me stop there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.